Hello and welcome to round 3 of Realish Racing's British Sports Prototype Cup from Oulton Park in Cheshire. I'm Nicholas Groomis and joining me once again is Tom Brooks.
Hi there, Nick. Yeah, great to be back, of course, for round 3 of the British Sports Prototype Cup in the Championship. Of course, we had Castle Combe last time out with Oulton Park kicking us off, and a circuit length of 2.26 miles today at the island layout. Of course, is going to be some action-packed racing, I am sure. 19 laps for the drivers to negotiate around here, a race duration of 25 minutes with bright and sunny spells expected throughout the duration of the races here, Nick. And a very familiar circuit, of course, on the British touring car calendar as well.
Yeah, this is the intermediate island configuration, and to take us round today will not be our pole sitter, it will actually be local boy Tom Collentine.
Keeping it left, coming up to the line, grabbing 5th gear just before Old Hall, dropping it to 4th, and then letting it sweep out on exit. Taking 5th as you come down the avenue, dropping it down into 3rd, going through Cascades. Going back onto the power, letting it go out to the left, but not too far. Braking through Island Bend, careful not to touch the grass. Turning in, down into 1st, and accelerating out. Going back up over Hilltop. Picking the right spot for braking, down into 2nd and in. And then just feathering the throttle into 3rd. On the exit of Knickerbrook. Coming up over Clay Hill, taking 5th just before Druids, drop it to 4th, and then power out, keeping it left on the approach to Lodge Corner, down into 2nd, feathering the throttle over the camber, and then just power onto the line, keeping it left again. For an acceptable lap.
So there we go, Tom Collentine taking us around his local track, but on pole today, once again it's James Price Harbour, who missed the previous round, so he'll be looking to get back to winning ways. It was very close though, Sam Hill only 300ths of a second behind him, and teammate Lee Harrison himself only 700ths as well. Jamie Hunt then 4th, great qualifying session from him, about 4 tenths down, and then we get Arunas Linkovichus, the really fast Lithuanian driver, joined by Joe Nathan, the equally fast American, Bjorn Golder, who had a slightly disappointing time last time around, we're hoping for more than when he had previously. Alex O'Dell there running out of the top 10 next to Will Heatley. Pete Walker, his teammate, not far behind him, and there's Tom White there for Junior Motorsports. Coming up to the midfields then, we see the 2 Kobitsu Racings, and it's Neil Crawford who's got the better of his teammate Campbell Wallace there, pipping there Rob Covey to on row 8. And then we have Matt Davies of PSB and Craig Willard far behind his teammate of Eiffel Power Motorsports, so he'll be looking to advance as far as he can. And there's Noel O'Connell there in 20th position, bringing up the rears the 2 Team Atoms on row 11 and the 2 Northern Monkey Racing cars on row 12.
Yeah, looks to be a very, very interesting race. Of course, Price Harper on pole position, looking to reclaim his championship lead. So 3 red lights about to come on, and race 5 under 16 in the British SP Cup is go. A good start initially from Price Harper. Sam Hill also getting away very, very well. Price Harper moving immediately over to defend from Hill. In towards turn 1 they go. Look at Lee Harrison just having to defend also from Jamie Hunt. Linkovichus coming around the outside now as well. Who's that in the barrier? Is that one of? Is that Rob Covey? It was indeed. Oh, Price Harper very, very sideways in towards turn 2. And looking around the outside now is Lee Harrison, who's made a great start then. Has got some fantastic traction and lots of drama further back.
It's Niall O'Connell.
It is O'Connell into the barrier then on lap 1, heading in towards the hairpin. This could cause all sorts of drama. Price Harper wide. Look at Lee Harrison looking to take the lead. Oh, contact further back as well. I think one of the Eiffel Power Motorsport cars caught up in there. That must be Neil Heatley. Heading in towards the right and left hand of Hislop's they go. Harrison going for the lead against Price Harper. Look at Hill. Hill over. Oh no. Lee Harrison into the barrier. My goodness, what drama here on lap 1 of 19. Nick, that was absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, the way he just rolled there and is just almost must have just got wedged underneath and sent him flying there into the barrier. So going from racing to the lead, and now he's all the way at the back there still. Here's Arunas Linkovichus trying to get past here past Jamie Hunt. He goes a bit too deep and he doesn't manage to hold on to it, so he's got to be careful that Joe Nathan there doesn't have a go back in. Meanwhile, Sam Hill who's demoted in all that action, is now trying. I think that's what must be April Dillon there.
Yeah, looking up the inside, heading in towards turn 1 they go of Old Hall Corner, heading in immediately in towards turns 2 of Cascades. Over the brow of the hill they go, look! And oh no! Here, Linkevicius going straight into the scene of the accident. Another instant with Sam Hill, and now Hill going into the barrier as well! My goodness, what an opening lap that was! And Linkevicius is undoubtedly out of the race without a front bumper and a front wheel as well. And now Bryce Harper off! My goodness! Jamie Hunt takes the lead, and one of the RlyR Racing cars there now in second place, and I think that must be April Dillon there. Nick promoted up into third position at the end of all this carnage in the middle of lap 2. That's unbelievable.
Oh, and she had a good stab there at second place, but just backed out the right moment. Probably a little bit too ambitious actually, and Joe Nathan just cuts across, leaves her just enough room to survive. And so there we go. Jamie Hunt is now in the lead after the first 3, just all of them suffering either from being hit or sliding into the barriers seemingly of their own accord. But April Dillon here is not going to give up on second position. She's probing around the outside, but she's got to be really careful from the Oris Motorsport car. Is now going to try and get underneath. That's Bjorn Golder going for third position, and I think he's got the line here and makes the overtake stick.
Fantastic bit of overtaking there from Bjorn Golder, then up into the podium position. Some kind of consolation it must be for the Aureus Motorsport camp at the moment, because Sam Hill undoubtedly will be very, very frustrated with himself after such drama on the opening couple of laps. Look though at Bryce Harper immediately on the recovery, looking to get ahead now of Dillon. Heading in towards turn 2 they go. He's got the outside line. Over the brow of the hill they come into the left-hander. This is where he was drifting, of course, on the opening lap. No way through there for him on April Dillon at the moment, but it has to be thinking about something fairly soon, as we've got Heatley and now Pete Walker in the pit lane. Is this an unsighted incident? I think it must be. Here we go, Nick. Very strange there from Walker. What was he doing all the way over on the grass? Just must have got a poor exit, and did that send him into Heatley, or did he get caught up? Must have done. So there we are. But look at that. Oh, Jamie Hunt now losing the back end from the lead of the race. That's going to allow Joe Nathan then, the American RlyR Racing's Joe Nathan, number 26, to take the lead. Or does he? Over the brow they come into the left-hander. Don't forget, of course, about Bjorn Golder there, not too far behind in third place. Hunt still leads from Nathan, from Golder, from Dillon, from Bryce Harper. Into the right-hander they go, heading in towards Druids. Now, still we've got Bjorn Golder just defending from Dillon, and now looking to get ahead of Joe Nathan as well. So Nathan really is a bit of a sitting duck in these circumstances. I do wonder whether he's got the pace to be able to maintain it with these top 5. Still, we've got Golder though attacking and defending at the same time. That really unfortunate position that he's stuck in, and this is going to be all the Christmases come early for Bryce Harper. Heading in towards turn 2 they go, because Bryce Harper, of course, will know that these drivers are being held up by battling with each other. He drifts again, gets the back end out into turn 2. But once again, Nick, a masterful bit of car control there from the Briton.
Yeah, jumped over the thing Mario Kart style and looked like he almost might go off into scenery again, but he managed to keep it on the island. Here, Jamie Hunt as well is clearly holding everyone up faster. Joe Nathan, they're trying to get by him. It's very much a case of attack or be attacked here, but doesn't seem like anyone can get by anyone else really cleanly. And here's April Dillon now ducking out the slipstream. She's going to have a go. No, tucks right back in there, so Bjorn Gold is still there in third position. Oh, and Joe Nathan get very scribbly out there, and then he spun round.
Oh, contact there for Nathan, spinning him round, and then the order, and Dillon caught up there as well. So Golder, Dillon and Nathan all going plummeting down the order following a series of events, and that is going to be a brilliant result for Bryce Harper, because he's going to be up into second place after that. Let's have a look at the instant, Nick. Oh, Golder just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And
yeah, Golder just slightly tapped him, couldn't get out of the way.
No, understandably, Linkevicius, out of the race. Didn't really expect anything but that to happen after his lap 1 calamities. Dillon there down in 7th place after being up in about 4th just a lap or so ago. Now looking to get ahead of Campbell Wallace, number 64, who's just in front, and James Lambert there in the forefront of the shot as well. So great result it could be for the Tropico Motorsports team. Some kind of consolation at least for Linkevicius' demise. Through turn 2 they go. I love the undulations of this Oulton Park circuit, of course. It really is absolutely fantastic. Dillon looking at the inside of Wallace, in towards the right-hander they go, the hairpin. No way through there for him at the moment, into the island hairpin, of course. And still the running order as you were, lap 5 out of 19. Dillon looking ahead again, over the hill they go, downhill in towards Hislops, the right and then the left-hander, and easy prey is Dillon against Campbell Wallace, so up into 6th place for the Swede against the Scotsman. Number 314 gets ahead of number 64. That is a great bit of overtaking there, Nick, and probably one of the cleanest of this race we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's just natural pace there. Wallace knew that April Dillon's much faster than him. Fought for a few corners, but realised that when the overtake was going to be made, there was no point in trying to lose too much time. Then Joe Nathan's out the race. Oh God!
So that must have been his incident, of course, with Bjorn Golder just a couple of laps ago, who we're looking at now up into 4th place, with Odell, of course, in 3rd as well. So great result so far for Odell on the podium. Dillon looking to get ahead of James Lambert. Bit slidey, bit of contact through there, but Lambert demoted down to 6th. Dillon up into 5th, and now, of course, we've got Campbell Wallace coming into the forefront of things as well, with his teammate not too far behind. Through the left-hander of Cascades they go, and in towards the island hairpin. Still Golder just defending from, or getting ahead now, in fact, of Alex Odell. A great bit of overtaking there into the hairpin. Up the hill they go. Has he got the drive? Will he get the place? Still more drama further back, and that's absolutely fantastic. Dillon then down to 6th, Lambert up into 5th, and now, of course, we've got the 2 Kibitsu cars, as well as Lee Harrison then coming back into play as well. So he's also on the recovery drive up the inside of the Kibitsu car, of course, of Neil Crawford, number 222. Through the hairpin, the chicane they go, and a nice bit of overtaking there is does Lee Harrison get on number 222, of course, Neil Crawford, and now his next target, of course, is Campbell Wallace. Through the right-hander they go. No way through for Harrison there, but he's really got the pace in these middle stages of the race. And now we've got Golder looking to get ahead still of Alex Odell. And through the right-hander they've just gone and drew it in towards through Lodge Corner they've gone to cross the start-finish line and to start lap 7 out of 19. But it's still Golder trying to get ahead of Odell. Very impressed actually with Odell's defence actually there, Nick, because it's been very, very impressive so far this season, and very impressive none more so in this race.
Yeah, we used to see him making wild overtakes around the outside, but that was a wild defence over the outside. And still here, Bjorn Golder looks like he might try around the outside this time. Previous lap he tried to go down the inside of the hairpin.
Contact further back, did you see that?
Oh yeah, somewhere in the back. I think that might have been one of the Northern Monkeys getting lapped there. Did look like Tom Collinsine's car, but we'll have to see maybe a replay. So still Alex Odell fends off the German Bjorn Golder. These two are great friends and somewhat even look like a bit, and now they're stuck together on the racetrack, and there's nothing to tell between these two.
Yeah, I remember actually being at Silverstone with Odell and Golder, and we were watching the World Endurance Championship there earlier this year, of course, for the opening round, and I took a photo of them both because they were both wearing sunnies and they both looked exactly the same. I could hardly tell them apart. I think I sat down next to Bjorn once and was chatting away like it was Alex, and as it turns out it wasn't. Meanwhile, on board then with the German, looking to get ahead of his good friend Odell. Up the inside into the right-hander they go of Lodge Corner. Sorry, Druids rather, and into Lodge Corner they go now. So a great bit of overtaking side by side down the main straight, heading in towards turn 1, lap 8 out of 19, side by side, very, very close. Odell does remain ahead of Golder at the moment. In towards Cascades they come. And look at this further back, Lee Harrison and James Lambert going hammer and tong for 7th place. We've lost one of the Kibitsu cars as well there, Nick. So something must have happened, I believe, to Neil Crawford. Yeah,
maybe that was the incident we saw in the background, and I saw yellow instead of red. So there we go. Oh, Bjorn Golder still now trying to get down inside, but Odell has gone really wide, and it's going to be... Actually, no, he still seems to have the pace, but Bjorn Golder is going to have the line here. The next corner, they're going side by side down into the chicane. Who is going to come out on top? I think you'd have to say that Bjorn Golder has this one, but no, Odell cuts quite across him and somehow still manages to stay ahead.
That was a very, very cheeky bit of defending from Odell. A couple of millimetres, a couple of inches, I reckon, actually. Either way, and that could have been both of them going off track. We've seen a couple of incidents on track between Golder and Odell this season so far. Both racing incidents, of course, but nonetheless must unsettle them somewhat. Heading in towards, look at the speed, look at the closing speed that Golder's got on Odell into the right-hander. Yeah, so going a bit wide. The battle for the lead intensifying now between Jamie Hunt, number 16, and James Price Harper. So the two, of course, in the sister teams. And this could be a very, very interesting battle developing on, Nick.
Yeah, and James Price Harper, we've seen before that he's usually quite patient when it comes to making the final overtake for lead. He knows you can very much easily lose the race lead before you even get it. But Jamie Hunt is going to be quite tough nut to crack. As I say that, of course, James Price Harper sweeps into lead, but Jamie Hunt's going to cut back underneath. He's got the inside line and maybe clips James Price Harper's front bumper there a little bit. But James Price Harper is now going to just going to tuck in as they go downhill to the chicane at Hizzies. And is he going to make a wild stab? No, he's just going to follow Jamie Hunt through, who locks up and gets a little bit sideways. And this is going to be a golden opportunity now for James Price Harper maybe to attack straight into Druids.
Yeah, so let's have a look and see how this battle will develop onwards throughout the race. It could be something that really intensifies as we come towards the closing stages and indeed the checkered flag if we're so lucky. Through the right-hander they go of Druids. In towards Lodge Corner they'll come in just a couple of moments' time. Another straight, another opportunity for Price Harper to get ever closer to Jamie Hunt. The two, of course, will not want to take each other off track. That's the last thing you want to do, despite being sister teams. It's a bit like Toro Rosso taking out Red Bull. Over the brow of the hill they come and to cross the line to start lap 10. So 9 laps remaining for the top two at the moment. Into Old Hall Corner they go. Oulton Park, of course, in Little Budworth in Cheshire. Hosted its first race in August of 1953 and proven to be just as exciting today in 2015. Turn 2 of Cascades. Price Harper still just behind Jamie Hunt. What do you think about a move into the island hairpin? No, gets very close into the braking zone though. Look how much closing speed he's got. The retardation on those brakes is superb from Price Harper. Really got a good feel for the middle pedal. And downhill they come into the right and left hand of Hislops. Still Price Harper biding his time. This is the mark of a truly great driver from Price Harper because he's really biding his time. He's not taking things too rash. He's not looking every which way he can to try and get ahead of Hunt at the moment. He knows, of course, that he's a very, very experienced driver. And Tom Alderson there up into 10th place. Who'd have thought that going into this race? Tom Alderson of Team Atten, the rookie in this season, I should say, rather, is up into 10th and a very decent points-paying position. I hope he can keep it there for the end of the race because that really would be a cracking result, Nick, for the Team Atom outfit, as well as Junior Motorsports' Tom White there in 11th and Willard in 12th as well.
Yeah, bear in mind Thomas Alderson started on the penultimate row, so if he can finish in the points, that really would be a great story of the race. Here we have Niall O'Connell, the PSB, and his teammate Matt Davies right behind him, so it's the two PSB Motorsports together, as we do usually see him in these races. Nothing really to choose between these two teammates, but he's trying to get by Adam Popplewell there of the new driver development program. Meanwhile, James Lambert still stuck behind Hunt, but still waiting patiently for an opportune moment. Rather like Alan Prost, you know, you only have to win the race at the very end. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 second or you dominate by 50 seconds, you're still going to get the race win and you're still going to get the same amount of points, so you might as well be patient, and we are seeing that in evidence here with James Price. But you do feel that maybe at some point now with the laps counting down, he might be able to take an opportunity any moment soon, and almost gets right into the back of Jamie Hunt there, who was really slow at the exit corner, but just because where it was, James Price Harbour can't really capitalise on it.
Yeah, it's a very narrow circuit, Oulton Park, actually. So oh dear, that's Dylan going across the grass and gravel tracking. That's going to allow Sam Hill to get through the right-hander he goes, and up into 6th position for the 00. Aureus Motorsports then on the recovery once again, but still the battle going on. Look at this. It's going to be fantastic to commentate on into the closing stages of this race. You can't separate them on pace. Their last laps were very, very similar, just within a couple of tenths of a second of each other. Still Hunt defending from Price Harper. In towards turn 1 they go. Who will get ahead? We'll find out in just a few moments' time. But now Hill, of course, has to defend from Dylan. Has he got the pace to? I wonder whether Hill is actually carrying a bit of damage following his lap 1 drama, Nick, because he doesn't seem to be able to mount a charge towards the podium-paying positions at the moment.
No, he doesn't seem to be really happy at the rear end of his car. And it's Lee Harrison there hopping over the crest of that little hill there. And it's surprising that his car is still going really. The shunt that he got into the barriers on lap 1, it's amazing he hasn't got any kind of damage at all, and he's found his way up to the back of Alex O'Dell, who brakes really heavily into the hairpin. Under pressure maybe there from Lee Harrison, although he wasn't really in a position to make a move, but now he certainly is, and he might have a little go now, hit into his ups. He's just shadowing him, although given what happened to him on lap 1, he might be a bit more circumspect at making an attempt into that corner, and yes he does. He just follows through nicely and trying to get a better run, see if he can carry the momentum all the way down to Lodge and make an attempt there. Meanwhile, Wallace trying to get by there. The Tropico Motorsport car of James Lambert is about for 8th place, and Wallace shadowing Lambert very well then. He too could have a great opportunity to get past at the end of the lap.
Yep, so over the hill they come. Still Price Harper and Hill, as you were, to start their 13th lap out of 19, so not too long left for these guys into the closing stages of the race. Oh, a bit of a mistake from Hill into turn 1. That allows Price Harper, who equally gets a little bit sideways, actually. I wonder if he's got that sort of setup on his car where he likes the car to be a little bit unsettled. Into turn 1 goes O'Dell, just defending from Harrison. Oh, O'Dell off into the grass, knocks White into the barrier, but loses time, and Harrison then gets himself up into 4th place. So a good result it could be for the Defenders Offenders outfit. And now he's going to be in the clutches of Sam Hill, who is, of course, in 6th place. You wouldn't have thought that after lap 1. But certainly really very, very good driving from Hill, demonstrating that he does have the pace, but is not able to get up towards the podium paying positions. But nonetheless, a place will be a place for the Briton. Over the hill they come, out of view and into view once again, into Hislops, down the hill. And still no way through there for Hill, if you'll pardon the usage of the word Hill. And through right-hander of Knickerbrook they go. And still Hill's trying to find an opportunity to get ahead of Odell. Odell, of course, wouldn't have suffered any damage. He didn't actually clip anything, maybe a bit of grass in the underside of his car. Probably a temporary loss of grip, but he'll have scrubbed all the grass off now and will be hopefully a little bit better off. On board with the Briton, of course, who took 2 wins in 2 races at Castle Combe. As a very, very established driver, despite being a rookie in the series. Around the outside, he looks on Alex Odell. He'll have the inside line in towards turn 1 of Old Hall Corner. Side by side, the two go. Hill versus Odell into turn 1. A great bit of overtaking there from the Reyes Motorsport camp. And he gets himself ahead of Alex Odell. A yellow flag on screen now as well, Nick. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe something further back than we're not seeing. But still Odell looking to get ahead of Hill at the moment. No way through there for him. But it is indeed Hill who reigns supreme against Odell. Will it stay like that for the rest of the race?
Connell.
Oh dear. We saw him, of course, caught up in an instant after turn 1. And now it looks to be put pay to the end of his race. Will he be able to get things going? Nick, can we hear the engine?
It looks like it's completely dead, yeah. I mean, he's not in a really dangerous position unless someone else makes a similar mistake. So he would not need to get out of there sharpish, but it doesn't look like he's trying to make any attempt to get out. And I think that is his race run. Very, very unfortunate for Niall O'Connell. What he'd have wanted, of course, would be to get a great points pay position. Lambert at the curb! And that allows Campbell Wallace to get himself up into 8th place and into a very, very good points position for the Scotsman. But yes, as you mentioned quite rightly there, Nick, of course, it'll be very disappointing for Niall O'Connell to not score any points, of course, considering the demise of others. Established names such as Rob Covey, Pete Walker down there, out of the points. Oh, and what's happened to Popplewell? We've got no front bumper.
Was that maybe something to do with Niall O'Connell, perhaps? It's a potential possibility. Let's have a look. Or was it an instant all on his own for the new drivers programme? Oh, it was contact with someone, definitely. I didn't quite catch the car that went through the shot there. And someone else off. That's Tom Collentine of Northern Monkey Racing. Just going through Druids, keeps things shiny side up at least, which is more than can be said for Harrison earlier on. He was seeing all sorts of scenery that I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to. But Tom Collentine, a mini spin for him, but still back now underway. Lambert versus Wallace in towards the right-hander, so the left-hander they go. Over turn 2 into the island hairpin. This is a supreme overtaking spot. Down the straight they come. Spot the braking point on the left-hand side. Brake as late as you dare. It'll be on the ragged edge of retardation. Lock-ups from the both of them. A bit of contact, bit of nudging further back from the two, but still manages to carry on. Harrison into the barrier after his earlier incident there. And still it doesn't go right for Harrison. So the offenders who are on for a very, very good podium paying position, it's now gone to pot for the Briton, I'm afraid to say. And incidentally, his teammate says the fastest lap there, Nick.
Yeah, so it's a tale of 2 races between these two. So Alex Odell now fighting with April Dillon. We've seen these two before, 2 of the best overtakers in the field, probably. So we should see, hopefully, a few fireworks between them. Hopefully not literally fireworks and seeing them burning into the in the barriers. But Odell there is stalking April Dillon. Managed to cut round the outside there. I don't think he's going to have a good chance to get an overtaking here, but we've seen even more spectacular things before from Alex Odell, who does indeed go round the outside. Wow, walls of death hit, and he's managed to get into 5th position.
That was stunning. Very, very impressive side-by-side racing between the two. Alex Odell, April Dillon, of course, very, very established names in the Realish Racing camp. And that's Tom Collentine having another incident and clipping the barrier as well. He'd be very lucky if he escaped going through the island hairpin there without any damage. That was very strange. It was the inside where he caught the barrier, Nick. So I do wonder what happened. If we get a replay of that later on, I'd very much like to see what caused the incident. Still, now Campbell Wallace and James Lambert going hammer and tong into the final few laps of the race. Kaibitsu versus Tropico. Kaibitsu still on top at the moment between them. Will Lambert be able to get ahead before the race is over? It's a very, very interesting part of the lap, this, of course, coming to the middle part. Look at that. The battle for the lead still going on. Popplewell cruising around with damage on his car. Hunt still defending from Price Harper. Will Price Harper be able to take the victory? It'll all come down to these final few laps, Nick, but he's in a very, very good position to do so. And he's defended his tyres very well, I must say, into these latter stages of the race to be able to be with Hunt. Looking at the inside as Bryce Harper thinks better of making a move through Oulton Corner and in towards Cascades they go. Lap traffic ahead in the form of Neil Heatley. Around the outside goes Bryce Harper, looking to get ahead of Hunt at the moment, but no way through there for him. Will he get a better exit, though?
Switch back on the outside, though.
He did get a very good exit out of there. He's on the outside line, though, heading in towards the island hairpin, but he's got that guy. Will he be able to get ahead? Oh, looking up the rears. And Hunt does indeed manage to retain the lead, or retake the lead, I should say, from Bryce Harper. Over the brow of the hill they come. And heading in towards Hislops for the 17th out of 19th time. Who's going to be able to get ahead? Will he think about an outside move for Bryce Harper? No, thinks better of it. And that allows Hunt to go very deep and get a poor exit out of there. Bryce Harper, very, very cunning, very, very wise old shoulders. And heading in towards Druids they come, through the left-hander and into the very, very quick right-hander on the track. Last couple of laps, this will be very, very important for the championship lead, Nick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jamie Hunt there, he tried an almost what was a block defend there. Happened before previously, and when James Bryce Harper now sweeps down him into the lead, but Jamie Hunt is hanging around the outside and he's not giving up there. It's such a great battle we're seeing here between the young Jamie Hunt and the slightly older James Bryce Harper. But look at him, they're just almost touching, and James Bryce Harper, how he didn't hit the back of him I don't know, but still carrying the momentum, and somehow Jamie Hunt's still hanging on now with only 2 laps to go. It's going to be a thrilling finish here, and James Bryce Harper, oh, you could see him, he's almost drifting around his corners, somehow desperately trying to find the speed and momentum, even gets onto the grass there a little bit. He wants this win really badly and he needs it, and Jamie Hunt is doing all he can to not give it to him.
That was fantastic. Millimetres apart from the two drivers. A great amount of respect they've got for each other is evident on track. In towards Hislops they come. Once again, Bryce Harper not got the momentum at the moment, not got the position. No way through there for him, of course. He's very, very far behind from Hunt at the moment. Or I say very, very far behind. All it takes is one minor mistake from Hunt and he'll be able to get himself ahead. Less than a tenth of a second it was at the timing line. And in towards these final couple of laps, it'll be very, very interesting to see whether Bryce Harper can get himself ahead of his N-Team's compatriot. Through the right-hander of Druids they go. Bryce Harper clips the apex very nicely, but gets a bit of grass, but gets a great exit though. Will he be able to get ahead in towards the final couple of stages? Neil Heatley coming into play as well. Lap traffic, of course, in the form of the number 13. Through Lodge Corner they go and down the hill and then over it once again. The undulations of this circuit really putting pain to a lot of drivers, of course. Makes it very, very difficult to get themselves on the power earlier than they would like. Through turn 1 they come on towards the final lap, Nick. This is going to come into a massive, massive climax.
Yeah, and they still haven't managed to dispatch Neil Heatley, so if they come up onto him on the island hairpin, he could prove decisive in who wins this race. But I would imagine Neil Heatley knows better than to just get in the way of everyone. And indeed, oh, someone's there on the grass. It's April Dillon trying to get back of Alex Odell, so he hasn't steamed away from her just yet. And still, there's Neil Heatley there, and there's another lap. There's another back marker there. So 2 potential obstacles here for either of them to try and use to win the race, or might even cost them the race. And that is actually Rob Covey there. So following still. Oh yeah, Neil Heatley gets straight away. Rob Covey also realises in the nick of time what's happening behind him, and actually Neil Heatley cuts the chicane. There he is. He now has finally managed to get out of the way of both of them. So there's only still a few corners to go here, and James Bryce Harper, really, is he going to send it back down into the last final corner? It's the only way he can really win this race now.
It'll be a Danzare move if he can. So coming in towards the final couple of stages of the race. Through Druids they go. In towards Lodge Corner for the final time on race 1. Bryce Harper around the outside. He looks to get ahead of Jamie Hunt. It's the final lap, the final corner. Side by side. This is going to be fantastic. A photo finish in Realish Racing. Who's going to win? Who is it going to be? Hunt or Bryce Harper? It's Bryce Harper. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. Bryce Harper takes it by the smallest of margins against Jamie Hunt. Oh, wow, that was fantastic, Nick. I don't think we've ever seen a race quite as close as that in the history of Realish Racing.
Well, certainly not in these broadcasted ones. Oh, let's see. So, just there, you can see how close
moves
it was.
over on him.
And even it's a slight bit of contact there at the edge. I don't know how James Bryce Harper managed to do it. It looked like having to go around the outside, he would end up losing out there, but somehow James Bryce Harper on his return wins his 3rd race from 3 races that he's attended. And you have to say though, Jamie Hunt, a fantastic scrap there that he gave us. The whole race there, we thought, oh maybe, you know, it's only a matter of time before James Bryce Harper gets by, but he fought all the way to the line.
stunning, absolutely stunning. I've never commentated on a race quite as fantastic as that, and the results, Nick.
Yeah, look at that, 0.04 of a second, the closest finish since, well, the Gran Turismo days of Realish Racing. Well, but beyond Golda there, finally, he gets on the podium, unnoticed in that dramatic finish there. Sam Hill 4th, so that's good considering what happened to him earlier on, and is once again the top rookie. Alex Odell fending off April Dillon at last. Lee Harrison couldn't do much, got back home 7th and kind of stayed there. And they have Thomas Alden's there, so he did finish in the points in there. That's a fantastic result for the rookie. And there we have his teammate Charlie Merritt there, 15th. So bringing up the rear here. Tom Collentine didn't have a great outing, we saw him Spain once, but I'm sure he will have enjoyed thrilling the local fans there up here in Cheshire.
Well, what a race one it was, of course, here at Oulton Park on the Island Circuit. Race 2 will be along the way in just a few moments' time, so I hope you can join us then for the second race here of the British SP Cup in Cheshire.
The Realish Racing British Sports Prototype Cup is brought to you by WTF1.co.uk and sensiblegaming.com.
So, welcome back to race 2 of round 3 at Oulton Park. We had probably the best race finish we've ever seen here in Realish Racing. Only 0.04 of a second separating winner James Price Harbour from Jamie Hunt. So here is the grid for the second race. It's the results of the top 8 from the previous race reverse. So there we have Campbell Wallace there starting pole. Lee Harrison didn't have a great race last time out, but starting from second you think that he might have quite a good chance to win this one. And of course there we have the rest of the field will line up in the order they finished. So Paul Arunas Lingavachas cruelly taken out of the first race. He's also got a start from the back in this one.
Yeah, he's got it all to do, has Linkavatius. Disappointment for the Tropico Motorsports team, but it's going to be interesting to see how Wallace will fight from pole position, of course. So let's wait and see as the cars take to the field, and we'll have race 2, of course, underway here at Oulton Park. If we have anything like what we had for race 1, we are in for a cracker. So let's wait for the racing to get underway then. So 3 red lights will come on, and then they will go out, and we will be underway here at Oulton Park. We are go. A good start then from everybody off the front row of the field. Harrison looking to get ahead immediately of Wallace. Heading in towards turn 1 they go now as well. Dillon looking up the inside. No way through there for her. And still going on between the Realish Motorsports cars. A couple of cars going wide. I think Price Harbour going off there. Heading in towards turn 2 they go now as well. Harrison getting around the outside of Wallace. Still further traction further back. Look at that. Odell just defending from from James Lambert of the Tropico Motorsports car into the island hairpin, the first real overtaking spot of the lap. It is Harrison who leads the way just from April Dillon till the RlyR Motorsports cars of Sam Hill and Bjorn Golden not too far behind. So cleaning out the top 5 they go. And a smorgasbord of cars. Craig Wallard there up into 7th place, the number 86 off the side of the field. And James Lambert as well. And look at that. Pete Walker up the inside, maybe in towards Heslops. And no way through there for him. And that is Wallace going off. Oh, his pole position goes from bad to worse, I'm afraid to say. And someone off in the background there as well. Is that Crawford? Oh, it is. Oh, a double blow for the Kaibitsu team.
Not having a great chicane there.
No, certainly not. Jamie Hunt then up into 4th place. That's very impressive considering where he started in 7th, of course. Now looking to get ahead of April Dillon in the opening stages of the race. Does that mean that Sam Hill is leading? That could be fantastic.
And straight down the inside there. April Dillon still trying to have a look at that. Very brave to hang around the outside, but Jamie Hunt probably has a bit too much pace there, as we see. There's Pete Walker there, 6th. He had a nightmare race first time, man. So hopefully he can get the result. And actually, April Dillon has managed to stay ahead of Jamie Hunt. Lee Harrison there is leading the way, 2.5 seconds already from Sam Hill. But if Sam Hill has anything to say about it, that gap will be coming down very sharply, very shortly. Here's Alex Odell. They're trying to get by one of the Team Atoms, I believe. He's going around the outside there, trying to fend off Neil Crawford at the same time. There's James Price Harbour, winner from the previous race. He's actually down in 12th position, so nightmare first lap from him.
Yes, he's gone absolutely backwards and is now under threat from Neil Crawford, or is he actually? He's getting himself ahead of Tom Alderson. So that's very, very good start actually from Tom Alderson. Very impressed from the Briton. Keeping out of drama, keeping his nose clean as it were, but still now down and going further down the order, I'm afraid to say, for the Team Atom driver. But nonetheless, Price Harbour had a bit of a nightmare of a first lap, and that is a bit of a nightmare of a chicane once again for Campbell Wallace, losing a position against Bjorn Golder. So RlyR Motorsports rather going further down the order into 12th place, the final points paying position in this event. Still looking at Tom White there, the Junior Motorsports car. He's had a bit of a quiet start, but nonetheless is in a very credible 8th place. Just behind him is Alex Odell, Price Harbour as well, not too far behind. there, of course, is Tropico Motorsports' James Lambert. And he, of course, has got the he's got the Junior Motorsports car and Odell, of course, and Bryce Harper. Look at this, 3 wide, heading in towards turn 1. Tom Alderton on the outside line, heading in towards the first corner they go. Neil Heatley drifting his way around there and spinning round, I'm afraid to say. So Heatley goes down to 14th place and is just missed by the entourage of cars coming through. But this he's not! Contact there with Niall O'Connell once again. Oh dear, PSP Motorsports having a bad round here in Cheshire. That is not the way they'll have wanted to cap off their weekend. Very, very poor luck from O'Connell to end up out of the race after an incident on track in race 1. And now I'll be very surprised if he hasn't suffered any damage. He'll be saying some very choice words inside of that crash, I'm fairly sure of it, Nick.
Yeah, all the other cars managed to avoid him, just we'll see from Niall O'Connell here. So actually, yeah, every other car trying to get by him blocked his field of view until it was way too late. So nothing really that the Irishman could have done about that. Meanwhile, Craig Woolard in the other Eiffel Power Motorsport, 5th position, really good running here so far, but he's under heavy pressure here from Pete Walker, who will surely be trying everything he can to make up for his nightmare previous race, and he's going to actually trying to make a move down the inside here into Lodge, and he's got the line, and ooh, he just made it stick there. Meanwhile, James Price Harper now having to think about Alex Odell.
Odell getting very squirrely out of the final corner of Lodge as well. Meanwhile, Woolard and Walker going hammer and tong for 5th place as well. This is, of course, going to throw the likes of the Tropico Motorsports car behind of James Lambert into throw, as well as Tom White, because if these guys battle amongst themselves, of course, they'll lose a bit of time compared to Tom White, of course, and Lambert, who is defending his position very nicely. Someone who else is having to defend his position is Odell, who's now got Bryce Harper very, very close behind, and Bryce Harper gets himself ahead, heading in towards the island hairpin they go, and is now looking to get ahead of Tom White. So 2 in 1 for Bryce Harper. That's very, very optimistic, and it pays off for the Briton then. So the race winner, of course, in the first event here at Oulton Park pays off for Bryce Harper. Will he be able to take a double victory? He's certainly going the right way about it, but he's got a long way to go yet in this race. Contact there between James Lambert and Craig Woolard of the Eiffel Power Motorsports car. Through Knickerbrook they go up the hill and in towards Druids for the 4th out of 19th time. Odell getting ahead of Tom White now as well, as we can see. Through the right-hander of Druids they go. And look at the speed that Woolard's carrying, but look at the speed that Bryce Harper is carrying. Great closing speed, and Odell now coming through as well. So Odell looking around the outside of Bryce Harper. So much action going on, we can't keep up with it. And oh, look at that! Very, very close between them. And now Golden coming into play as well. There's so much action, I can't keep up with it, Nick. But it's fantastic.
Yeah, the two here, the Eiffel Power Motorsport there, Craig Woolard fighting there with James Lambert. Between them, they are bottlenecking the track. So James Bryce Harper trying to find a way by them both. Ooh, and he went quite wide there, curb wide in there, and you can see the problem. So many cars on track at the same time in the same little bit of tarmac that he gets mugged and completely loses quite a few positions as they all somehow manage to skillfully avoid him. But there we go, Pete Walker there now is cementing that position. Ooh, very late on the brakes.
Bryce Harper spins!
Bryce Harper spun!
Into the island hairpin. Unbelievable from the championship leader. Let's have a look at that again. Did he just lock the rear tyres? Here he is, just behind Tom White with Odell just ahead as well. Oh, has to get out of the way of an off-going Craig Woolard. Did that cause any drama? Let's have a look. Oh, he got tagged by Golder. Oh, no, we've seen some incidents on track with Golder, especially at Castle Combe as well, last time out. And I think it was with Sam Hilly's incident, actually. Or, no, that was his teammate. It was with someone on track in Castle Combe. And nonetheless, that's going to be very disappointing for Golder. Another on-track incident. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper now looking to get ahead of the Eiffel Power Motorsports car of Craig Woolard. In towards the right-hander they go. Very good sportsmanship, actually, from Golder. 3 wide heading in towards the final corner of Lodge. Oh, more contact between Golder and Bryce Harper. Woolard there keeping his nose clean, but losing 2 positions almost. On the main straight they go. A very short main straight it is as well. Not much chance to be able to get themselves into the slipstream and take advantage of it. But up the inside goes Bryce Harper and gets himself very, very cleanly ahead of... Oh, and Harrison, the race leader spins. Unbelievable. Into the island hairpin. Has he lost some time? He has indeed. So Hill takes the lead then. And that's going to mean that... Is it April Dillon now in second place? I believe it must be.
Oh, and Alex Odell almost clipping the back there of James Lambert, trying to find a way by him, but still no way by there. And he's under attack here now by the second junior motorsports car of Tom White. So really, no, just action everywhere. You really have no second to pause before he's been find some other dramatic development on track. James Lambert hitting the grass there a little bit, so he might be slow on the one down there. Here's what happened to Lee Harrison. Just locked on the brakes and that was it.
So easy to lock the rears going into that corner, such as the deceleration. Niall O'Connell, as we can see now, out of the pit lane, unfortunately. Meanwhile, let's cross back to this. We'll come back to that in just a few moments' time. But Odell versus James Lambert, of course, and number 25 of Tom White. Around the outside looks Odell, up the inside again, tries to get the switch back, tries to sell him a dummy, but no way through there for number 23 versus number 25. And still, of course, we've got the likes of Campbell Wallace, Arunas Linkavatius, of course, who started in 24th and plumb last position up to 12th. So he's made up a good 12 positions in these opening 7 laps, Nick. That is very, very impressive with Neil Heatley just behind.
Yeah, and we haven't seen him. Ooh, Eiffel Power Motorsport getting surfing over the curbs once again. So yeah, we haven't really seen him make those moves either. So he just calmly kept his head about him and slowly made his way up the field. Of course, still more than half the ways to go, so it could be in for a few more points there. As now it's getting very congested there at the island hairpin. James Lambert just doesn't really have the pace of Tom Whitehair or Alex Odell, who are too busy trying to get past each other to really make an attempt on James Lambert. So, and they go line and stern there through the chicane as Arunas Linkavatius claims the spot from Campbell Wallace.
Nice bit of overtaking there from the Lithuanian. Number 8, of course, rookie in this series. Very, very experienced driver, as we keep mentioning. He's raced on the likes of Race Department and so on and so forth, so he's very, very experienced in sim racing. Look at that, though. Odell right at the back bumper of Tom White. Very good friends, these two. But still, Odell not taking anything on track. Up the inside, in towards the right-hander of Lodge they go. And they'll come onto the timing line once again. Very sideways and a bit squirrely from Odell. Around the outside looks Tom White once again. It's a Dan-dare move if he can pull it off. He looks and thinks about it, and that is Jamie Hunt going off from 4th place. Keeps it on board, though, keeps it in the right direction, but loses a position to Pete Walker, who's having a very, very impressive run, I should say, in this series so far. Bryce Harper looking around the outside, in towards Cascades. No way through there for him against the Junior Motorsports car. And into the island hairpin. Looks up the inside, though. Very, very optimistic overtaking move and gets it done. Odell looking at the rears as well. And that's thrown him right back into play. Bryce Harper very late on the brakes. How on earth he got that stop, I do not know. But that was supreme overtaking from the championship leader. Meanwhile, Odell darting every which way he can in towards Hislop's to try and get ahead of the Tropico Motorsports car of James Lambert. No way through there for him. Through Knickerbrook they go. Around the outside he looks. No way through there once again. Up the inside. In towards Druids. He's around the outside. He's got the outside line for the left-hander. Sorry, for the right-hander. Will he be able to get the move done? Yes, he will. Oh, fantastic. And now Bryce Harper gets it done as well. So, and that is Ben Harrison going off of Northern Monkey Racing. Didn't quite see what happened there. Must have been just a lock of the rear tyres. Yeah, so easy to do, of course. But now Bryce Harper and Odell right back into play. Lap 9 out of 19, so 10 of them remaining. Don't forget, of course, about Golder, who's not too far behind Tom White. So White looking to be going backwards. But still Golder not being able to get ahead. And a very, very cheeky bit of defending there from Tom White. Chopped Golder's nose off right at the last second, but quite within his rights to do so, I must say, as well. So, into the barrier! Who's that off? That's Ben Harrison having another crash! And upside down, rolling it over! My goodness, that was quite the impact. Let's have a look at that, Nick. We just got the end of it, on board with Golder. No way through there for him, but still we see number 91, James Lambert, now caught up in some strife with Golder, of course, and Tom White as well as Linkavatius there, just trying to creep his way into the top 10. Meanwhile, Odell and Bryce Harper still trying to get ahead of the Briton. Keeping his line very, very clean. And in towards the left-hander they go. They've just gone through Knickerbrook. They're coming in towards Druids now, out of shot, and then back into it. Bryce Harper's got the inside line for the right-hander. Will he be able to get the move done? Will he be able to get it clean? Bit of contact. No way through there for Bryce Harper. Has to back out of it at the last moment and thinks better of it. Meanwhile, Golder looking to challenge James Lambert now, heading in towards the final corner. Around the outside looks the German. No way through there for him. Meanwhile, of course, Tom White has got Lambert's teammate, of course, Linkavatius for company as well. Still Tom White looking to get ahead. He's having a very competitive run. His most competitive run, I should say, of the season so far in the British SB Cup. So most impressive, I must add, for Tom White. And still Golder there looking to get ahead of James Lambert. In towards Cascades they go, Nick. And around the outside.
And the outside. Absolutely stunning move there from Golder.
Really was fantastic. And now, of course, they've got Tom White coming into play as well, so we could have a four-way scrap for the top 10 here. Nick looking up at the brakes. That's pretty much the status quo. And Tom White's the big loser of all of that, I'm afraid to say. Linkevicius does indeed break his way into the top 10. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper looking to break his way ahead of Odell, but no way through there into Hislops.
Yeah, and now the two Tropico Motorsports cars are right on track together, so from dead last, Ruinous Linkevicius now has to challenge his teammate, but his teammate is more concerned now about challenging Bjorn Golden. He's got a good run at him. Meanwhile, here's a battle for the lead. April Dillon very close here, challenging Sam Hill. She's going to have a look down the inside. Is she going to be able to take the lead into turn one? Lee Harrison not too far behind, so maybe they should be wary not come into contact. Otherwise, Lee Harrison will be able to reap straight back into the lead that he lost there at the Island Hairpin a few laps ago. But of course, April Dillon is much more calm and collected to throw a stupid move and throw it all away. But now she's got another great one here. Oh, I thought here that Sam Hill was going to stay to the right and be very defensive, but he's actually opened the door for April Dillon, who says thank you very much, breaks down on the inside and takes the lead.
Harrison coming into play now as well, of course. So a three-way scrap potentially for the lead of this race, with 8 of them remaining. In towards the right-hander and the left-hander of Hislops they go. Still Hill looking to get ahead now of Dillon. And of course, Harrison looking to get ahead of Hill as well through Knickerbrook. And up in towards Druids they go for the 11th out of 19th time. And now Bryce Harper's got himself ahead of Odell. Will Odell let it lie though? No, he won't. Up the inside in towards Hislops, gets the move done, gets it clean, and gets the place up into 5th for Odell. Bryce Harper demoted back down to 6th, but for how long, of course? He's got his teammate not too far behind, or his end team's compatriot, I should say, in the form of Jamie Hunt. Let's have a look here at Jamie Hunt. This is an instant he had off track, and just lost it coming out of the island hairpin. Kept things nice and calm though, and didn't spin up his rear tyres and lose it, like so many are doing.
Oh,
Speaking
Hill's
of
gone
losing
too wide.
That is Sam Hill going very wide and allows Lee Harrison to get through with relative ease as well. So could we be on for a brand new winner in the British SP Cup, Nick? I don't want to jinx it too soon, but it looks that way considering the likes of Dillon's pace in this event. That would be spectacular.
Yeah, of course, still roughly half the way still to go, but it really would be fantastic, as you say. But Lee Harrison here is still going to want to have something to say about it. And Sam Hill, of course, didn't hit anything, so he'll be back for another fight. James Bryce Harbour, wow, look at that dive bombing down there on Alex Odell. Has he finally got ahead of him? Yes, he has. Alex Odell can't really carry the speed through the apex. In fact, does give James Bryce Harbour a little nudge there. But through he goes, and of course, James Bryce Harbour, he had Jamie Hunt there behind him, the two who battled so epically for the race when last time out, so he's going to want to put as many cars between him and the young Hunt as possible.
Fantastic. We really have seen some great racing here. It's been a treat to have commentated at Oulton Park, one of my favourite circuits, and I really was looking forward to this in the British SP Cup, because I was thinking it's going to host a surprise, I reckon, this round. I really did think it would do so, and lo and behold, it has done. It's proved some cracking racing. Of course, a race-long battle between Bryce Harper and Jamie Hunt in race 1, and some cracking battles throughout the field as well, even for the lower points-paying positions in race 2. Into Cascades they go. Hill on the ragged edge once again, getting a bit sideways in towards that corner, but we've seen, of course, through some onboards this year that Hill does indeed like to have that car looking a little bit unsettled. We'll see him going in towards the island hairpin, and I bet you he'll get a little bit sideways. He does indeed have a little bit of opposite lob, and Odell going off the track now as well allows Jamie Hunt to take advantage and get himself ahead. So a simple mistake from Odell allows the defenders of number 16, Jamie Hunt, to get himself ahead and launch a charge potentially on his teammate. Now Golder coming into the forefront of it as well. Golder in 8th place, looking to get himself up into 7th. Around the outside he goes of Odell. Thinks better of it though, once again. Of course, he's had a couple of incidents
Odell got a bit scribbly there though.
He did, yeah. Of course, I was just about to say that Golder's had a couple of incidents, of course, at that hairpin so far in this event, and he'll probably be thinking a little bit better of it. Indeed, he does so. Hill, meanwhile, looking to get himself up into 2nd place ahead of Lee Harrison. Lap 13 out of 19. He'll have to think pretty quickly about it, of course, as we come in towards the final few laps of this race at Oulton. Over the brow of the hill they come once again, across the timing line. And still looking around the outside. And Harrison going very defensive in towards that corner. Yellow flag, as we can see at the ticker tape at the top of the screen.
Oh, someone's in the barrier.
Yeah, it is. It's a red car. I wonder, would it be Ben Hamilton? But I think
Hamilton again, yeah.
I thought he would have been out after that roll, but we saw an even more severe roll with Harrison, and he still managed to continue on to the end of the race in race 1. Meanwhile, of course, we've got the likes of Tom White versus James Lambert, heading in towards turn 1, side by side between Tropico Motorsports and Junior Motorsports, defending his position for all of his might. But look at that, great bit of chopping the nose off from the Junior Motorsports Tom White. Meanwhile, Lee Harrison there still in second place, of course, with Sam Hill not too far behind. Through Knickerbock, Knickerbrook rather, they go. Knickerbock's it's an ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah.
And April Dillon, though, leading a comfortable victory it would be if it stayed like this. But that would be very impressive for Dillon. I think it would be, correct me if I'm wrong, her first win in the Realish Racing series, in fact. I don't think she's taken a win throughout the entirety of her career so far in the club.
No, it would be. So all of them really do have something to fight for. April Dillon here, first win. Lee Harrison so far been outshadowed by his teammate James Price Harper, who desperately want a victory to try and claim back some honour in the team. Of course, Sam Hill is fighting for the championship there. It's pretty even. Stevens between two of them. April Dillon's gone off, and Lee Harrison is in the lead.
Oh, as we were saying in race 1, a simple mistake really can put pay to the end of your race, and so simple it was for Dillon. Commentator's curse unfortunately strikes again. Sorry there, April. Do apologise. I must say, actually, on a side note, I really do quite like the livery of that Junior Motorsports car this year. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so simplistic. Let's have a look on board, get a closer look at that livery. Oh, and just too much understeer through turn 1, so too much speed it looked like she was carrying through there. And it's easy to do so when you're trying to, of course, defend your lead and are under so much pressure from the likes of an experienced driver from Lee Harrison. So it wasn't meant to be for Dillon at this moment. Meanwhile, Linkevicius looking to get ahead of Odell. Odell going backwards in the final few laps of this race, down to 9th place now, as Linkevicius, the Lithuanian, gets himself up into 8th. Who'd have thought that, considering he started in 24th position? This will be one of the best drives. If we can watch an onboard from Linkevicius' car from the start of this race, I'll tell you what, it will be just as action-packed as we've seen throughout the rest of this event. Over the brow of the hill they come, in towards Druids. Meanwhile, Lee Harrison, though, Nick, through the first corner he goes, and someone going off there as well.
And Lee Harrison got distracted by that, and April Dillon's gone back into the lead.
Wow, very good eyes. I missed that. I thought that was some lap traffic going through. So very impressive from Dillon. So Dillon could yet be on touchwood for this win so far. Let's have a look coming in towards the closing stages of this race. Price Harper, meanwhile, of course, in 5th position, has set his fastest lap of the race, a 1:17.771. Very quick lap, even in race trim. Here's Dillon, though. Let's have a look at this instant on board with her. And yeah, just over the curb for Harrison. And like candy from a baby for...
Sam Hill did the same thing.
Oh, no, he spun off.
Around.
Oh dear, we didn't catch that, rather, I should say. Misses the barrier quite luckily. Loses a position, I believe, against James Lambert. I think that may have been. We'll find out, of course, when we get the timing on the top of our screen. I apologise, it wasn't. It must have been some lap traffic in the form of Lambert, of course, who's further down the order. So Hill still retains 3rd place. Meanwhile, of course, Harrison and Dillon battling for the lead. Could be another final lap scrap. That would be something to behold. 2 final lap scraps in 2 races. And a different winner in the British SP Cup really would be fantastic. Through turn 1 they go for the 17th time, so a couple of laps remain here at Oulton Park in Cheshire. The 2.26 mile circuit has been very action-packed. We haven't mentioned this guy throughout the entirety of the race, though, Nick. Pete Walker in 4th place. Or for how long?
Oh, and Lee Harrison's going to make an overtake there for the lead, and he cuts down inside. Forcibly shoves April Dillon out of the way. Very harsh, but not really anything against the rules there. So Lee Harrison retakes the lead. Also a bit of bump and grind with the other offender's car. Pete Walker trying to defend from James Price Harper, who manages to hang around all the way around the outside, and now is only 1 step away from the podium, although barring a mistake from one of the drivers currently occupying those positions, I don't think he'll make it onto there.
My goodness, what a lot of incident. Here it goes, though, once again. Linkevicius versus Golder. Golder looking to get himself ahead of Linkevicius now in the RlyR Motorsports Radical, of course. These 190 horsepower cars don't have much guts to them, but my goodness, can they fly. Up the inside, Luke Golder in towards the right of the left-hander of the Hislops chicane. No way through there for him. And, of course, Odell coming into the forefront of things once again. But Odell spinning around now as well. Oh, going a bit too wide through Knickerbrook. And that's going to be his race run from there. So 9th place will probably be the best that Odell will hope to finish, barring any incident further back, further in the front, rather, of course, in this race. Meanwhile, the battle's still intensifying between Dillon and Harrison. So Harrison in the lead once again. And Dillon there around the second corner of Cascades they go. So a couple of laps remain here at Oulton. Looking every which way, trying to line up a move. Maybe just trying to signify her intentions is Dylan. No way through there for her at the moment, of course. But maybe lining things up for a move, of course, on the final lap. So it's all to play for coming in towards the closing stages of this race. Very impressive Bryce Harper, though. Nick, of course, had a bit of a torrid first lap. Was down at about 12th, 13th place. And he's up into 4th. That's a very, very good recovery. The same, of course, applies with Linkovacius after his race 1 dramas.
Yeah, it looked for a while there that James Bryce Harper's advance through the field had stalled a bit, and then when we came back to him, suddenly he was competing for 4th place. And as you say, of course, the Lithuanian Arūnas Linkovacius, stunning drive there from last place. But meanwhile here, April Dillon really is sizing up Lee Harrison of the Defenders team. Both of them desperately want to win. April Dillon has only had a 2nd place before, so last season in the V8 Australia class, so she has been on the podium and she's used to fighting for the victory, but not quite as close as this. As we go on to the final lap now, who is going to take their first victory of the season, and is it going to be April Dillon who takes the first victory ever? Actually, she goes a bit too wide.
Is they going to lose her time, though? Will Lee Harrison potentially be pressured into a mistake? We've seen it, of course, misses the apex a little bit, but that is kind of a traditional line, actually, through Cascades. Take a late apex, someone going off in the background there, sorry, in the forefront of the shot, rather, or maybe just locking up their brakes. But it looks to be Lee Harrison's race to lose at the moment. That simple mistake, once again, from Dillon through the first corner, looks to put pace to the victory, of course, but nonetheless, a commendable podium from the Junior Motorsports team would be a cracking result nonetheless. So let's just wait and see how things pan out. Into Hislops they go once again, but it has been a masterful drive from the number 7. And Lee Harrison there, Nick, looks to take his first victory of the season so far.
Yeah, by mistake, looks like it's his to definitely to lose. But of course, we have seen stranger things happen. Lee Harrison now, though we saw him last season at the final corner at Bathurst, completely spear off, and he ended up going from 2nd place to not finishing at all. So you never know what can happen in these races. But it does look like Lee Harrison now just got to keep going. He only has 1 more corner to go, and it looks like he is going to take victory.
Rounds the final corner, does Lee Harrison. A great win then for the offenders. Consoles Bryce Harper's 4th place, and a fantastic victory for Lee Harrison, his first in the British SP Cup. And what a finish as well. Look at that. Dylan there also finishing in 2nd place. A great podium for the Junior Motorsports team. Further down the order, of course, we'll see Sam Hill rounding out the podium with Bryce Harper taking a well-deserved 4th place. But look at this still going on between the other Junior Motorsports car in the form of Tom White. Not for the top 10, for 11th and 12th place between the number 25 and number 64. But there we are. Lee Harrison, of course, whose car has unfortunately broken after that incident across the line. But what a finish it was for Lee Harrison, and what a drive it was as well. Fantastic to see the number 7 take his first victory in the British SP Cup, and really displaying that he could be a force to be reckoned with in this championship. Still early days. Bryce Harper there 4th. Pete Walker takes a very, very impressive 5th place. Jamie Hunt in 6th. Bjorn Golder finishes in 7th. Arūnas Linkovacius in 8th. Very, very good job from him. Odell in 9th. Lambert 10th. White 11th. Wallace, we didn't mention him throughout the race at all, in 12th. Very, very impressive from him. Although, of course, considering he started in pole, he'll be a bit disappointed with that. His teammate Crawford in 14th. Tom Alderton 15th, the rookie. Rob Covey down there in 16th. Popperwell in 17th. Davies finishes in 18th and out of the points. Likewise, Charlie Marriott, Collentine, Heatley and Hamilton, with Niall O'Connell and Joe Nathan unfortunately failing to finish this race.
So there we are. Lee Harrison actually now leads the championship by virtue of James Bryce Harper having missed 2 rounds already. That will all shake out at the end of the season though. But as you said, Lee Harrison establishing a genuine claim to compete for the championship. He's been in a bit of a rut lately, but that's exactly the confidence boost he wanted. Sam Hill moves up to 3rd, and April Dillon there with the 2nd position. Straight into 4th. Arūnas Linkovacius moves down a slot, obviously because of his poor first race 1 where he was taken out. And then we have a few movers here at the rear. Tom Alderton, pretty good showing him by the 2 races. We saw him make his way from penultimate row into the points in race 1, so he's now up in 20th position. And then we have a few. Dan Thorne there being relegated 18th. Of course, Dan Thorne not really racing for the foreseeable future. And bringing up, and Tom Collentine actually does manage to get off the bottom spot there on William August. So the offenders streaking away that front, but Aureus Motorsport not too far behind, only about 50 points, which over the course of the season can disappear quite quickly. So they go up into 2nd position ahead of Tropico Motorsport, and Junior Motorsport there supplanting Power in 4th position.
What a race it has been, of course, here at Oulton Park. Absolutely fantastic for round 3 of the championship. And of course, round 4, we're heading over to Ireland for Mundello Parks with changeable weather conditions. That really could be very, very interesting. So thank you for your company, and of course we'll see you for round 4 of the British Sports Prototype Cup. From myself, Tom Brooks, and from Nick, it's goodbye for now.